Hi guys, today I made these super mushroomy mushroom toasts that were so mushroomy that there actually wasn't mushroom for anything else. Seriously though, I used 3 different kinds of fresh mushrooms plus porcini dust and finished it off with a nice truffle oil. I started off by prepping the fresh mushrooms. Here I have some smoky shiitakes, some meaty oyster mushrooms, and some woody chestnut mushrooms. And you don't want to wash these by running them onto the tap or they'll absorb too much water, so instead take a bowl of water and dab a paper towel into it before you wipe each mushroom clean of any earth or grit. Do the same for the oyster mushrooms and the shiitakes. I know I'm being a bit transcontinental with my mushroom choice, but these are the best ones they had at the market. Just use whichever ones you can find. Cleaning the mushrooms this way can be done hours in advance. Next, I added some dried porcini mushrooms to a spice grinder. I'd say roughly 20 grams, but don't get too bogged down about measurements here. Then about 2 teaspoons of coarse sea salt before blitzing to a fine powder. This is the only seasoning the mushrooms are going to get, and it's going to be right at the end of cooking too, so they won't shrivel up and seep out all their moisture. I'm probably not going to need all of this, but it will keep, and it's delicious on steak or roast beef. So just before cooking, I emptied out my mushrooms, placed my bowl on a scales, re-zeroed it, and halved most of the mushrooms before placing them back into the bowl. Any big mushrooms I cut into thirds or quarters. Now you can see that I used 340 grams of mixed fresh mushrooms. Now mushrooms absolutely love garlic, so I'm going to use a lot of it. I've got 6 pretty big cloves here that I'm just going to peel and then crush into this bowl. If you don't have a garlic crusher, you can finely mince it on a microplane grater or just chop it up really finely with a knife. Now take a nice fresh loaf of good crusty white bread. Now this loaf isn't very tall, but I do want to get more area per slice, so I'm going to slice the bread at an angle. Then with butter that's been sitting out of the fridge for a while, I'm going to butter both sides of each slice. I'm going to toast these on a grill pan, but you can do them in the oven if you like, or just leave off the butter completely and toast them in the toaster. So once my grill pan was nice and hot, I just placed the bread on top of it and let it toast for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side until it had nice tiger stripes that gave a really nice extra smoky flavour. Then I just placed them on a serving plate and set them aside until the mushrooms were cooked. Next, take a large frying pan and place it over a high heat and add a good knob of butter followed by 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once the butter has melted and is foaming, pile in your mixed mushrooms. Give them a quick stir to just coat them in the fat before you add your 6 cloves of garlic. Give that a really quick stir through before you take 2 good thyme stalks and add the leaves. Stir them in before you add a really generous grinding of freshly ground black pepper and stir that in too. By now the mushrooms should have had about 2 minutes over a high heat, so just turn the heat down to medium-low and pour in about 150 milliliters of cream. Stir that up and let it cook gently for another 2 minutes before you add a good handful of fresh parsley leaves. So add some of the porcini salt now that it's pretty much done. I started by adding 2 teaspoons before mixing it in, and then I gave it a little taste and decided that it needed another teaspoon. Once that was mixed in, I turned off the heat and took some real truffle oil and added just a few drops to the pan, half a teaspoon at most, and that gave such an incredible truffle flavour and aroma. It seriously filled up the whole room. Then, without oven gloves, just the cuffs of my hoodie, I took the pan and served it at the table where I spooned it generously over the toasts. Then I gave each one a good grounding of black pepper, followed by a little sprinkling of fresh parsley. A grating of cheese would go really well with this. Some parmesan or pecorino or even some blue cheese would be really nice, but I just thought they were so nice and meaty on their own, I just left it out. Thanks a million for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. You can check me out on social media if you like as well. You'll find all the links to my accounts in the description, as well as the link to my blog where you'll find this full recipe at www.rookiecook.org.